Hey guys, Alex here. Thank you so much for joining me for today's at-home full body Pilates workout. Today we're going to be using a small set of hand weights to sculpt and strengthen our entire body, building tone, strength, and definition. I'm going to be using a set of 3-pound hand weights. You can go heavier, you can go lighter depending on your level of strength. Ankle weights are also a good option for this workout if you don't have hand weights. With any of the moves, if the weight gets to be too much or you're losing good form, simply drop it off and continue the moves weightless. This workout does include a warm-up and a cool-down, so it's a great comprehensive workout. You're gonna feel incredibly strong and well stretched after completing it. So with all of that in mind, let's go ahead and get right into our warm-up. I'm gonna place the weights down off to the side, and we're going to take the stance nice and wide. Growing up really nice and tall up through the crown of the head, stacking the vertebrae one on top of the other. We're going to relax the shoulders down, chin is parallel with the floor, and the crown of the head is elevated up toward the ceiling. Core is tight. We're going to lower down, nice wide knees, and then open arm twist to the right, looking out over right shoulder, and open arm twist to the left, looking out over left shoulder, back to center, and lift. Good, lower. Sweep that right arm around. Sweep the left arm around, stretching through the neck as you do so. Good, get a nice rotation around the spine, keeping the hips facing forward. Getting into that core engagement by drawing the belly button in toward the spine as you rotate. Good. Rotate and lift. Last one each side. Good, sweeping the arm back and lifting, getting a nice stretch through the thoracic spine and back to center. Let's circle out the arms, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. As we circle those arms down and back, lengthening through the fingers as you do so. Amazing work. Now from here, we're going to go into some squats. So come to the end of your mat, legs are hip distance apart. We have the weight evenly distributed in the feet. We're gonna lower and lift. Lower and lift. Good, lower down. Send your hips back behind you, nice flat back. And lift. Good, engaging the knees, mobilizing the ankles and the hips. Switching on those thigh muscles for 3 and 2 and 1. Now we're gonna come up and elevate onto the toes. Good, lower the heels and lift. So warming up those calves here. Moving slowly and with control, gaze is straight ahead. Working that balance. If it's too much with the squat, simply stand in a nice tall position and just practice lifting and lowering those heels up off the mat. Good, lowering and lifting, softening the heels and then elevating up onto those toes, working that balance and control for 2 and final 1. Nicely done. Turn to face me, hands are on your hips. Stance is about shoulder distance apart with those feet. And let's just circle out the hips here. Bend into those knees. Taking the hips forward to the side, back behind you. Out to the opposite side and forward again. Stretching as you push those hips forward. Really sending the bum out behind you. As you circle back, now let's switch directions. Mobilizing the hip joint. Nice tight core as you circle. Relax those knees for 3, shoulders down away from the ears, 2, and final 1. Nicely done. Now from here, we're going to go into some side bend stretches. So take that stance nice and wide again, toes turned out. And we're just going to reach over to the left, bending left knee, come to center, reach over to the right. Good, and recentering. Really lengthen out through those fingers. Keep the chest nice and open here. Let's go 4, reach a bit further. 3, and 2, and final 1. Nicely done. Take your hands on either side of your head. We're gonna go into some standing cat-cow stretches. So we're inhaling here, exhaling, inhaling, and exhaling. Good. Now let's change that breathing pattern. So we're inhaling to circle down and exhale to open those elbows. Inhale, round through the spine. Exhale, open. Now I'd like you to engage your core here as well. As you bring those elbows together, I want you to scoop your abdominals in and then extend through the spine to open. I'll show you what it looks like from a side view. Rounding and extending the spine for 3 and 2 and final 1. And bring the spine back into neutral and lower those arms. Great work. Now that we've mobilized the major joints, we're going to take a hold of our hand weights and move right into our upper body work. So we're going to start off again with our feet just a little bit wider than shoulder distance apart, toes turned slightly out. I'm going to take the weight out to the side, palms facing forward, bring it together, open back to the side, take the weight overhead, and then circle down to shoulder height. Good, so weight comes forward, chest muscles engage, we open, we lift, we lower to shoulder height, and press those weights back together. Good work. So repeating this movement, really focusing on posture here, so keeping the spine nice and tall. Good. Nice lateral movement with those arms as you lift up, palms stay facing forward, neck stays long, and those shoulders stay down away from the ears. Engage your core, it'll help with your posture. Good work, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth as you move through this exercise. We've got 2. And final 1, and press those weights together, lowering down. Good work. Okay, now we're gonna go into some bicep curls and shoulder presses. So I'd like you to take your upper arms and lock them in toward the side of the body. My feet are hip distance apart here. Weight is evenly distributed across the feet. We're going to draw the fist toward the shoulders, palms facing in, and then lift the weight overhead. Lower, locking upper arms in toward the side of the body, and lower the weight. So it's bicep curl, push up, lower, and ease down with tension on those biceps the entire time. Good. Gaze is straight ahead, posture is tall. Nice work. Really engage the core here. Drawing your navel in toward your spine. You can have fists or you can be having long fingers, whatever feels right. Good. Really focusing on that engagement of the bicep as you bring the weight toward the shoulders and then lower the weight down by the sides. So you're resisting it on the way down as well as on the way up. And when you're coming into that shoulder press, you're really pushing those weights up toward the ceiling, keeping those shoulders relaxed. Good. Amazing work. Press up and lower down for 3 and 2 and final 1. Press it up. Great work. Okay, from here, we're going to lock those upper arms in and just continue with those bicep curls. So the palms stay facing in. We're bringing that weight toward the shoulders, not letting that elbow move forward or backward, keeping the core tight, keeping the shoulders down away from the ears the entire time. Neck is long. Now, if you want to add a squat with every bicep curl, you can add that in. That is optional. Otherwise, if the squat feels like too much or you just want to focus on those biceps, then you can eliminate that part of the movement. Good. Good, I'm gonna finish my final 10 without any squats, just really focusing on that bicep engagement. Good work. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it down. Whew. Okay, biceps were working really hard there. From here, we're going to go into a chest fly. So I'm going to take my stance nice and wide. You can have your feet a little closer together if that feels more comfortable for you. I'm going to hinge forward. Now I'm not overarching in the back. I've got my tailbone slightly tucked, so I've got a nice flat back. Gaze is just down on the floor ahead. Palms are facing in, arms are straight. We're going to lift the weight and then bring it together. Good, lift and lower. So as I come up, I'm contracting those upper back muscles. Good. And as I come down, I'm drawing my belly button in toward my spine. I'm lifting through my pelvic floor, and I'm pressing those weights together, using a lot of energy on the way up as well as on the way down, making this movement, making this exercise super effective. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Let's just sit up for a minute, stand up for a minute, and then we're going to come right back down and flatten that back. This time we're taking the weights so the palms are facing toward the shins, or the thighs rather. I'm gonna lift that weight up, rotate it down to the sides, back out in front, and lower down. So the heads of the weight meet. We spread the arms open, we pull them back together and lower down. Really nice flat back here and engaged core. Good, try not to drop the head or lift the head. You want the neck in line with the spine. Good, lift, pull back, come forward and press the weight down toward the thighs. Good. We've got 3 and 2. Working hard here. And last 1. And lower down. Whew, those were tough. Okay, coming down onto the mat, we're gonna focus our attention on our triceps now. So I'd like you to bring the weight under the shoulders, knees are bent, arms are parallel. We want the neck long, the shoulders down away from the ears. We're going to lower the chest down between the fists and press up, keeping the upper arms in close toward the side of the body. Then we're gonna sweep that left arm back, nice strong straight arm, and pulse it up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower, weight below the shoulder, lower down, tricep push up, and then the right hand. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching sides. Tricep push up, driving up through those fists. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good work. Lower down, press up, keeping those shoulders square with the mat. We don't want to be lifting up too high on that one side as we pulse the arm up. Focus on those triceps as you lift and lower into that push-up, and then pulse that arm. Strong, straight arm, back of the arm doing the work here. Good. Lower and lift, alternating sides. Core is tight. You're doing so well. Lower and push up. One more set each side. Lower down and push up. Last set. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Amazing work. Now from here, we're coming into a kneeling position. If it's really uncomfortable for you to kneel, you can actually stand up for this exercise. Standing or kneeling, we're gonna hinge forward, creating a nice flat back. We're gonna sweep the arms back. Nice, strong, straight arms. Arms are parallel, and then we're just gonna pulse up. Good, working those triceps, keeping those upper back muscles contracted, shoulder blades close together. Arms are strong and straight. Spine is long. 3, 2, and 1. Come up for a moment. Now we're gonna do the same thing again. This time the palms are gonna be facing up. So switch the position of the palms, bring the arms back, draw those arms close together so that they're parallel, and start pulsing. Good work. Nice long spine, engaged core. Press those palms up toward the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, those burned. I hope you felt it in the backs of the arms. I know I sure did. Okay, now we're going to switch positions to really focus on our abs. So I'm gonna be using the weights for these ab exercises. It is gonna be working your arms by holding onto them. So if your arms are really not feeling like they can be holding onto the weights, you can just simply drop them off and just focus on those abdominals. I'm gonna take the weights over the shoulders, palms facing down toward the thighs. Legs are hip distance apart. From here, I'm going to tuck the tailbone as I curl up, pressing low back into the floor, and then lower. Reaching those fingers, reaching those weights toward or even past the knees. Good, and then softening the spine down. And lower. Crunch up, hold for a split second, and lower down. Now as you crunch up, you're lifting your head to the point that it's resting on top of your shoulders. Your gaze is looking out between those thighs, and we're really warming up and working that abdominal wall by pressing the low back into the mat and engaging belly button to spine with every crunch. Again, if it gets to be too much with weights, you can simply have long fingers. Amazing. Let's go. 4, lift up a little higher. 3, reach and crunch for 2. And final 1, hold for 5, 4, 3, belly to spine, and 1. Nice work. Okay, now I'm going to turn the palms so they're facing in. Palms are, or the wrists are above the shoulders. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, we're gonna bring the right knee in and then lower. Sticking on that right side, curling and crunching up, bringing the knee and the forehead toward each other, flattening the low back down to the mat. 4, 3, lift up a little higher into that crunch for 2, abs in, and final 1, nicely done, switching sides. Left knee comes in as we curl and crunch up. Good. Amazing work. Let's go 5, lift head, neck, and shoulders a little higher. For 4, flattening abdominal wall. 3, bringing that forehead toward the knee for 2. And final 1, nicely done. Now from here, we're going to extend the legs out long, and we're going to curl and crunch up, lifting the weights overhead. Lower down with control. Curl and crunch up, lifting, straightening the spine, and then lowering down. Amazing work. And lower, tucking the tailbone as you soften your upper body back down to the floor. Really good work, nice control. Work those upper abs on the way up and the lower abs on the way down. Really straighten through the spine and then tuck the tailbone and lower. Good. Lift up and last 2. And final 1. Bring it up and lower down. Take your weights by the sides, knees come in toward the chest. And let's just stretch it out here for a moment. For 4, 3, regulating the breath, and 1. Okay, from here we're gonna go into some lower abdominal work. You might choose to get rid of your weights for this exercise and just place your hands on either side of your tailbone, palms facing down. That can really help to support your low back with some of this challenging lower abdominal work. If you're feeling strong and confident here, you can take a hold of your weights and place them over your shoulders. We're gonna bring the legs into tabletop, and then we're going to extend the legs. So the right leg extends long with the mat, left leg lifts, then bend back to tabletop, and then right leg lifts, left leg extends long with the mat. So we're just keeping the weights over the shoulders, or else you've got your lower back supported with your palms down on the mat. So alternating from side to side, expanding the legs, and then bringing them back to tabletop. If you want to increase the level of challenge, I encourage you to lift head, neck, and shoulders up. Again, if it's too much with the weights and you want head, neck, and shoulders lifted, but you'd prefer to support your head in your hands, that's an option as well. I'm gonna go for that variation myself. Good. Now we're going to keep the legs extended, hold, and we're gonna flutter the legs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, abs in, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the legs down to the mat. Use your hands to help you. We're gonna lift up and roll over, stretching and lengthening through the spine, and just taking a breather here. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great work. Okay, now we're gonna really focus on our obliques, so those side abdominals. I'm just gonna use 1 weight for these exercises. So we're gonna move into position for a side plank. I'm going to lower my left forearm down to the mat. Left forearm is parallel with the top of the mat. Left elbow is below left shoulder. Knees are bent here. I'm taking the weight in my right hand. And from here, we're gonna keep the lower leg down on the mat, the lower knee down on the mat, as we lift up and extend that top leg. So I'm bringing the weight, turning my chest down toward the floor, and then lifting leg, lifting weight over the shoulder. Good. 3, lower. Keep that lower hip elevated. That's what's really working the waistline. Good. Nice open chest. Amazing work, pointing and lengthening through the toe of the extended leg for 3 and 2. Lift that lower hip a little higher. And last 1. We're gonna hold it here, lift that hip a bit higher, and then pulse up. 9, 8, 7, belly to spine. And 1, good work. Now for this next challenge, you can keep the leg, that lower leg bent, or you can extend it out long, coming into a full side plank. We're going to lift and lower the weight. Good work. Keeping yourself really strong and stable in that side plank, knee down or both legs extended. Lower hip lifted up off the floor, core is tight. Let's go 4, 3, I'm shaking here. 2, keep pressing up through that supporting elbow. And last 1, and relax it down. Okay. Now you can either stay up on your forearm like this, or you can come down onto your side body if that's more comfortable. We're going to work this top leg now. So I'm going to lift my legs up and hinge forward from the hip, coming into a pike position. I'm gonna place the hip on my outer thigh, or the weight on my outer thigh. That's totally optional. We're gonna lift that top leg, tap it down in front of the lower leg, come up, drawing an arc in the air, and tap it behind. Forward and backward. So I've actually got my lower leg really switched on here so that I'm not wobbling from side to side. Core is engaged, lower leg is active, acting as an anchor down on the mat as I work this top leg. Good. For 5, 4, nice stability through that trunk, and 2, and final 1. Pause in the center, and we're gonna draw circles forward about the size of a basketball. 3, 4, lengthen out through that big toe. Core is tight, shoulders are down away from the ears. And 1, pause at the top of the circle, reverse directions, circling backwards. Keep that leg elevated. I know these are killer, but you're nearly done on this side. 2, and 1, relax it down. Amazing work. Okay, from here, we're going to do the other side. So bring one of your weights with you. We're going to come down onto the side body, right forearm parallel with the top of the mat. We're pressing up through that right elbow below the shoulder. Now from here, we're going into those expanding plank, side planks. So we're lowering weight toward the floor and then lifting as we extend that top leg. Good. Really focusing on your waistline, keeping that lower hip really elevated. Good. Full extension with the arm and leg. Let's go 4, 3, keep that lower hip lifted, 2, and final 1. Hold it there and pulse. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, lift a bit higher, 2, and 1. Amazing. Lower down just for a moment. We're gonna either keep that lower leg bent or fully come into your side plank here. We're going to take the weight down and lift it up. Good. 7, 6, keep that lower hip elevated. 5, 4, 3, stay strong. I know it's really tough. 2, and 1, hold and lower down, either staying upright like so or coming down onto that palm with your head resting on top of your palm. Okay, I'm gonna move that weight out of my way a little bit. Getting ready for those rainbow taps, coming forward with the legs. So you're in your pike, switching on that lower leg, plugging in that core, coming forward and backward, anchoring down through that lower leg. We don't want to be rocking from side to side here. Good, up and over as we tap forward and backward, working that waistline, working the outer thigh, working the inner thighs here as well, and those glutes and hips. Lots of areas targeted here. Let's go 4, 3, up and over for 2, nice long relaxed neck, and final 1. Come to center, hold it there, basketball size circles forward. Breathing through it, circling that leg, not letting yourself wobble around in the torso because your core is engaged, shoulders down away from the ears. And 1, pause, reverse directions for 10, 9, 8, stick with it. Breathe through it. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Thighs and glutes on fire. Amazing work. Let's take a stretch before we move into our next set of exercises. So I'd like you to bring your left foot in towards your inner right thigh. Reach those arms up and fold over to the right side, stretching the right leg, stretching the side body, keeping the left bum cheek down on the floor. Regulating the breath as we inhale and exhale. Good. Coming over to the other side. Stretch feels really good as we lift up over and draw ourselves down. Keeping your right bum cheek down on the floor so you can really feel that stretch all the way from the hip, all the way through the side body. Let's go 3 and 2 and 1. Really nice work. Okay, from here, we're going to go into some all fours work to work the gluteus medius and the gluteus maximus. So we're going to just pop the weight behind the left knee. So holding the weight in place, pointing the toe, squeezing the weight. If that's really uncomfortable for you and you've got ankle weights, you could use those instead. I'm gonna drop down onto my right forearm and I'm just gonna start with some circles. So the toe is pointed, thighs and glutes are switched on, and we're just gonna circle that knee forward. Really bringing the knee up and around. Good, squeezing those glutes, mobilizing the hip for 3, abs in, and 2, and final 1, good. Now we're gonna open to the side and lower. Open to the side and lower, good. So going into some fire hydrants here. Amazing work, keep that neck long. Let's go 5, 4, squeeze that booty, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna go back into those circles. This time we're gonna circle back for 10. Good, circling up, down, around, and back. Let's go 3, get that knee up there, 2, and final 1. Now moving into an all fours position, wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. We're now gonna flex the foot. So pulling the toes toward the shin and then lifting, keeping that weight in place. You can come down onto your forearms if that's more comfortable for you. I really want you to focus on engaging your core and squeezing your glutes as you press that heel up toward the ceiling. Good work. Let's go 5, keeping those hips square with the mat, nice broad shoulders. 3, and 2, and final 1. Hold at the top of the lift. Make sure your hips are square with the floor and pulse that heel up toward the ceiling. Good, squeezing those glutes. Let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Now we're gonna stand up and continue to work that left leg. So before we switch over onto the right side. So I'd like you to come up. You're going to step your left foot forward. Right foot comes back, right heel lifts up off the floor. From here, we're going to lower and lift that right knee up, driving up through left heel. You can have the weights down by your sides or up by your shoulders. So we're lowering, weight comes in the heel and we lift, pressing up through that left heel. Good work. Driving up. Nice tight core. Let's go 5 and 4. Squeeze that glute as you press up. 2, really connect with those left glutes. And last one, come up, lower down. If you need to hinge forward slightly here to feel that tension on the left glutes, please do so. We're gonna pulse. Weight in that left heel. Maybe you feel it more with your torso straight up and down. Find that little sweet spot, either a little bit further forward or straight up and down where you can feel that work in the left glute. Good. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Coming back down to the mat, we're going to put the weight behind the right knee, squeezing it in place, pointing through the toes, dropping that left forearm down to the floor, and then circling forwards. Neck is long, shoulders are down away from the ears, lifting that knee and squeezing the glutes for 3 and 2 and 1. Hold it there, open to the side. Squeeze that side booty as you lift that knee, open to the side. Good. Core is tight here, shoulders are down away from the ears. Let's go 4, lift up a bit higher. 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Coming into your all fours position, either up on your palms or down on your forearms. Flex the foot and push that right heel up toward the ceiling. Good. Keep those hips nice and square with the mat. Focus your attention on those right glutes doing the work to get each lift. Squeezing the bum at the top of every lift. Let's push up for 5. Push the mat away so you're broad across those shoulders. 3, keep the foot flexed. 2, and 1. Hold it there, engage the core, and pulse. Good. Pulsing that heel up toward the ceiling. You got this. Core is tight. Let's go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot we need to circle back on that right side. Okay, I'm glad I caught that before we stood up. We want to be even on both sides. So drop down onto that forearm, lift the knee up, toe is pointed here. So now we're circling backwards. Good. Lift up and over. And 5, let's go 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now we're ready to stand up. So bringing both weights with us, stepping the right foot forward, left heel lifts off the mat. From here, we are bringing the weights up by the shoulders or keeping them down by the sides. Weight transfers into the right heel as we lift. Driving that left knee up. Squeezing the bum with every lift. Good. You're doing so well. Stick with it. Nice tight core, nice tall posture. Good. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Step back. And now find that spot where you can really feel the tension on those right glutes. Weight is in that right heel. Either hinging forward or straight up, and start pulsing. Keeping that weight predominantly in that right heel. Good work. Let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So good. Oh my goodness. That was really tough. Let's shake out the legs a little bit here. Nice work. We're gonna do some stretches now. We're gonna start by stepping the left foot forward, stepping the right foot back, and just gently pushing that right hip forward. in a standing hip flexor stretch. You can use the wall for balance or stability, or just take your hands on your hips, gently pushing that right hip forward. Nicely done. Let's switch sides. Stepping left foot back, gently pushing that left hip forward. Feels really good to stretch out those hips. Gently tuck your tailbone, push forward into that stretch a little bit more for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's circle out the arms here. Let's reach from side to side. Reach and stretch. Reach and stretch. Reach a bit further. And last one, reach and lengthen. Good. Come to the back of your mat. Fold forward. Pressing down into your shins. I'd like you to flatten out your back, sending your hips out behind you, stretching and lengthening through the spine. Then fold forward, releasing head, neck, and shoulders. Arms are limp and heavy, knees are bent. Then walk your hands forward, coming into a downward dog. Lengthen and lift through those hips and pedal out the heels. Keeping those hips elevated, really flattening the upper back. 2 and 1. Lower the knees, bring the big toes together, keep the hips elevated, and walk out into a puppy pose. Stretching and lengthening through the spine, releasing tension in the shoulders. Come down onto your back. Soften your spine down to the floor. And from here, we're gonna cross the right leg over the left, interlace the fingers behind the left thigh, and hug that left knee in. Stretching out the glutes on that right side. Pressing the low back into the mat to feel the stretch in the lumbar spine. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Switch the crossing of your legs. Bringing right knee in, stretching out those left glutes. Breathing into those tight areas while relaxing your shoulders and your face. Drawing nice deep inhales through the nose. And breathing out slow, controlled exhales through the mouth. Take hands behind your thighs, roll yourself up to a seated position. You can kneel or be cross-legged. We're gonna lift our shoulders and melt them down and back. Lift and roll shoulders down and back for 2. And final 1, shrugging away tension, setting up really good posture for the rest of your day. Chest is open, shoulders are down, neck is long, feeling strong, stretched, and accomplished. You should be really proud of yourself for completing that routine. It wasn't easy. Well done, and I look very much forward to working out with you again next time. See you soon.